Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the NXT Ring Report. Coming up, we come fallout from Halloween Havoc as we get you set up for coming up next week for NXT. We'll talk about it, but coming up, Devon Evans and Cedric Alexander team up the challenge for the Axion. Can Devon and Cedric win the title? We'll see. Also, too, the Peculiar, Tam Paxton, and the Wicked Wendy Chu will wage war in a brutal first ever women's casket match. They've been going back and forth for a long time. We'll talk about it. Also, too, Lexis King takes on Charlie Dempsey for the NFC Heritage Cup with Win Ringer and King's Corner. We'll talk about that coming up. But also, we got some more big news to share coming up here on the NXT Ring Report. WWEID. What does that mean? WWEID, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels might have something to deal with it. And also as Booker T as well. We'll get to it coming up. We get the Pro Wrestling Show started with the NXT Ring Report, and it starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the NXT Ring Report. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dixon. Glad you can join us here on the NXT Ring Report for the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, Miss Karen. Tell a friend, call a friend. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here. All right. We're going to get things started right here. The fallout for Halloween Havoc. And Halloween Havoc was this past Saturday. And you can look back in the archives for the predicted outcome as well as the review of the Halloween Havoc specials that we did. And what Halloween Havoc was throughout. We'll talk about it throughout. But we're going to kick things off with this. Wendy Chu taking on Taylor Patrick. These two women are battling out in a casket match. As you see, Taylor Paxi with the casket in mind. She tried to take down Wendy Chu. Wendy Chu and Wendy and Taylor Paxi trying to beat the holy crap out of each other in the first ever women's casket match. What a casket match it was to start off the show. Well, Wendy Chu, we thought she had Taylor Paxi where she wanted, but Taylor Paxi found a way, and Taylor Paxi wins the women's casket match, putting Wendy Chu out of her misery for good in that casket match. So Wendy Chu might have to be shipped back. Taylor Paxi did what he needed to do tonight. Well, Bo Ray Dudley was in the ring with the NXT champion Trick Williams. Trick Williams and Bubba Ray Dudley was in the ring as Trick Williams and Bubba Ray Dudley had their little promo battle tonight. Bubba Ray was telling Trick Williams that Trick don't have a partner because Trick don't got no friends because Trick is the NXT champion because everybody wants what Trick got, which he got a point. Trick Williams didn't was kind of confused at first, but realized that he really ain't got no friends no more after he became NXT champion and stuff. I think Bubba Ray was trying to make that be a friendly reminder of what's gonna go down. Um, I mean, that was Trick Williams trying to get that. Trick Williams been a fighting champion. And Trick Williams now wearing corduroys. I don't know why, but he is what it is. Trick Williams coming out there, and Trick Williams being endorsed by Bubba Ray Dudley for now. But Bubba Ray told Trick that he won't be his partner, and Trick will have to find a new partner. Trick was a little bit man upset. They had to go along. Perhaps you know um Ethan Page and Ridge Holland. Well, at the end of the before the end of the show, Ethan Page and Ridge Holland tried to get in the head of Bubba Ray Dudley. One thing about Ridge Holland trying to be a bad ass now. As what Bubba Ray Dudley was saying that he can respect Ridge, but he didn't like what Ridge had interrupted him at the Halloween Havoc pre-show by saying all those stuff and all those things that led to them having that confrontation this past week when Ridge confronted Bubba Ray and Dave LaGreca. Bubba Ray Dudley stood up for himself and try to get one a piece of Ridge Holland. He did so tonight by doing what he needed to do. Bubba Ray Dudley was in the crosshairs as well after he had set his sights and stuff, making it seem like what was gonna go down with Bubba Ray, Trick Williams, and you know, kind of knew you was gonna see that was gonna come up eventually. Bubba Ray and Trick Williams gonna team up. Well, they put the boots on Bubba Ray Dudley. They start beating the hell out of Bubba Ray Dudley, taking him down. But Trick Williams came out of nowhere trying to even up the odds. He did even up the odds, and now Bubba Ray said he changed his mind. He said he's gonna team up with Trick Williams next week in the ECW arena with Trick to take on Ethan Page and Ridge Holland. So we'll see that match next week between these four men as Bubba Ray Dudley coming out as the ECW legend. They're going to use a lot of ECW legends. Bubba Ray Dudley will be part of one of them in that main event tag team match that we'll see coming up as well. So we'll see that coming up to the point that no return for him and stuff. So we'll see how that's gonna go down next week. Bubba Ray Dudley team up with Trick NXT champion Trick Williams, take on the team of Ethan Page and Ridge Holland. That'll be next week. Ridge Holland can find him a set next week. Well, we know this. Zarya made her debut tonight. Zarya been a little bit unstoppable. Zarya went against Britain some and broke her arm, and Zarya beat her down and got the 1, 2, 3. Zarya ain't playing. Zarya look like she'll take her down one by one, piece by piece. But at the end, it led to this. Um, all the women were standing in the ring. The NXT women, there is a deep roster right there, a depth roster. Women's champion Roxanne Perez, Cora J, Fatal Influence, Fallon Henry, JC Jane. I forgot the other girl, as well as Kiani Jordan, Zaria, Julia, and Stephanie Vakir, and Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace made a return. That's Jordan Grace speculating rumors. She's coming to NXT. Jordan Grace is coming. She dropped that NXT, that Impact, that TNA champ women's title. She's coming to WWE after her contract expired. You can tell she's gonna be signed. They will be hearing reports and stuff, but she's coming. Um, we know next week a huge 10-woman tag team matchup next week, next Wednesday, for the special predicted special ring report with the AEW ring report as well as the AEW ring report. That's going to be special as well. We're going to see this Wells coming up. These 10 women, these 10 beautiful women will clash and collide. It's going to be a fight in Philadelphia in this Scream City. And you can tell it's going to be a scream with all these 10 women going to get it scream like chaos in the 1000, the 200 arena next week. I can tell you that. Women's champion Roxanne Perez teaming up with Cora J, following him the new North American Women's Champion with her Fatal Influence cohorts, Jason Jane, the other girl, against Zaria, against Julia, against Stephanie Vakir, against Jordan Grace and Keanu Jordan. Keanu Jordan is a bright up and coming star. Next week, we're going to see these 10 women get down and dirty next week in the land of a scream. The city of Scream was born. We'll see that coming up. But Rhea Ripley made a reappearance, giving the ladies a pep talk. Rhea Ripley giving them pep talks and telling them, hey, do what you got to do next week to sell the score. Do what you got to do. And Rhea Ripley was there for sound advice and gave them good sound advice indeed. Rhea Ripley being that voice of reason and stuff. But unfortunately, what happened to Rhea Ripley was caught in the crossfire, and Rhea Ripley got attacked and injured right here You can tell right here, Rhea Ripley was going in her car and got attacked by the women she's dealing with on Raw. So women's world champion, what I forgot her name, Ricardo Rodriguez and Liv Morgan attacked Rhea Ripley and left her bloody. So once we get some updates on Rhea Ripley, we'll let you know. But sad, unfortunate incident of having Rhea Ripley tonight, giving advice to these 5 women to tear the roof down next week in Philadelphia, and hopefully they do that for Rhea Ripley. What's going on? But hopefully we get a storyline coming on ongoing. If we get more reports coming up tomorrow for the AEW Dynamite Ring Report, we'll let you know on Rhea Ripley's condition. Real so hey. Speaking of that, Lexis King was in action against where Rhea Ring was in his corner man. Lexis King, we thought had it, but Lexis King tried his darndest, but he couldn't get the job done. Will Regal's son, Charlie Dempsey, won his match tonight over Lexis King in the Heritage Cup match. Until Will Regal was a little bit disappointed, but Charlie Dempsey keeps his cup intact. Charlie Dempsey wins indeed, but Will Regal was trying to do so with the help of Lexis was trying to help Lexis King. Lexis King couldn't get the job done indeed. So, hey, let's see. Well, RVD wanted to Ava, the general manager, wanted to see what RVD wanted to do next week. RVD is going to be one of those ECW legends as well as it's going to make an appearance as well. RVD just didn't know what he wanted to do. We'll tell you this throughout the tag team championship match, how that match was going. It kind of gave an indication on when Axion and Nathan Frazier defended the tag team titles against Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander. Well, we kind of knew that was going to go down, and it did go down tonight as Javon Evans neglected his partner Cedric, and Cedric got beat by the tag team champions. The tag team champions retained their titles over Javon and Cedric. But RVD made his choice after the backstage brawl between Wesley and Javon Evans. RVD saying he's going to be a part of it. I don't know if he's going to be a special guest enforcer or a special guest ring announcer, referee, or something. RVD's going to get physical. We just don't know what he's going to do. I think RVD's going to be the enforcer between these two men, Evans and Lee, next week. So we'll see. Well, we know that next week on NXT, Trick Williams team up with Bubba Ray Dudley to take on Ridge Holland and Ethan Page next week. It'll be next Wednesday instead of this next Tuesday. A special tag team match. Next special night. I guess it's because it's going to be election night. It's going to be the love. Highest coverage at all. So we'll see next week and stuff and how that's going to go. All right, that ends the NXT Ring Report. Let's go over the wrestling hot topics. What we forgot to mention right here was Nakia Lyons was revealed as the attacker to the Tony D'Angelo girl, and that girl's gonna get some retribution revenge next week on how she's gonna deal with Nakia Lyons. Nakia Lyons remind me of somebody that I know personally that loves to be interfering in someone's business. We'll see. Well, speaking of someone interrupting in someone's business, Tony D'Angelo got an earful from Nunzio, and Tony D'Angelo must answer the Nunzio next week, and how that's going to go down next week. Tony D'Angelo and Nunzio. But Nunzio got to do it since he's been hardcore. So we'll see. Well, we go to this. WWE announced this program, WWE ID. It means independent development. Well, this is the official press release of it right here. And this is right WEID right here. Meaning that WEID means to identify and develop independent wrestling schools and wrestling talent. Now, this is the most important part here. Booker T's Reality of Wrestling, Cody Rhodes, um, Nightmare Factory in Atlanta, Booker T's Reality Wrestling in Houston, Seth Rollins's Black and Brave among in Iowa, and among others, have been certified by WWE as a breeding ground, a developmental territory to get students into their ID. So they got Stars of Tomorrow. There's a couple of stars probably in Booker T's promotion that Booker T might want to bring up, as well as Cody Rhodes' promotion, his little school promotion, as well as Seth Rollins. There's a couple of students. Booker T has a reality wrestling show, so there's a couple of students that Booker T is, but it's a good idea from Triple H. Triple H trying to look for talent, and he's looking amongst fellow wrestlers to create his talent. Here's what the game head said right here. The game said the level of talent on the independent scene is incredible. They're grinding away their dreams are out, and I'm excited for WWE to be on the forefront of supporting their journey. WWID is here to help identify, support, and build the next generation of stars. So WWID is that build the foundation for the next up and coming stars of tomorrow. So we'll see. So they're gonna go. But Impact Wrestling, TNA, we talked about Chris Bay and a host of others, Vikio and the rest of them with their injury report. Impact doing a press release as well with their injury report as well. So we're seeing a lot going on, even to the point that Vince McMahon, we hear reports Vince McMahon may be in his I didn't never know Vince McMahon had a non-complete cause himself, but Mr. McMahon has a non-complete cause himself. He's trying to get himself again, and Vince McMahon will do that and do that as well. So we'll see on how this is gonna go to do what we got to do with Vince and stuff, and how that's gonna be. We're hearing reports that Vince also might be doing an entertainment company. If that comes around, we'll see and how it do, and we'll see and how that's gonna be coming down the down. We'll see how that's gonna be. We'll see if we can keep what's going on with Vince and stuff. And if he does that. All right, that's gonna do it for the Pro Wrestling Show presents the NXT Ring Report. We're gonna leave you with RVD, ECW legend RVD, making up his mind what he wants to do, and he found out what he's gonna do between Javon Evans and Wesley. Hopefully, we'll see. But that'll be next week when we have two ring reports with the AEW Dynamite and NXT Ring Report next week. So, and they'll be going face to head next week. So, we'll see you tomorrow for the AEW Dynamite Ring Report here on Pro Wrestling Show. We'll see you later.